Hello YouTube! Welcome to another episode of Factorio here at the Fugitive Theater. My name is Tanis Fugit, and today I'm working through some complicated logic-based parts of this game, and I've actually been working at it for like an hour and a half now off camera, and I figured I'd let you guys in on sort of what I've been doing and where my thought process sort of is right now. And what I've sort of been doing. So I've been tooling around. You can see here on my hotbar, I've actually got like circuit wires that I'm starting to sort of tool around with figuring out how the circuit system works in this game. In the meantime, I built up the smelting area quite a bit more. You see this, like, I've lined out all this space for even making this, even bigger than it is. But, suffice it to say, we have iron, we have copper, we have coal way up in the north. We are pretty well set. I also moved my, this was one of those scanning bases. I actually moved it from up here to down here. Both to put guns here to protect this area, although I need a set of guns over here, I think, but to just put a set of guns here, and also to, move my scanning forward, because my scanning ran into a wall. And as you can see, I'm already starting to get some, benefit out of it. There's another small iron ore not that far away that I'll be able to jump over to if we start running low over here. There's also another big, I think that might be our biggest uranium patch yet. Yeah, it is. So, and there's also more stone down here as well. So lots of opportunity for us to expand further, a few nasty bases for us to take care of once we decide to do that. But we're on this copper now. So yeah, I set all that up, and now I'm trying to figure out like good train routines and stuff like that. I'm going to turn this train onto manual, and this is one of the things I've been thinking about, right? So I need to move coal to various locations. I need to move plastic to various locations. I need to move iron to various locations. I need to move copper to various locations, so on and so forth. So for coal, I actually think the first thing I want to do is this should start from the coal mine and wait until it's got full inventory, at which point it should then, I think the first step should actually be to drop it off here because the oil processing needs it. So we're going to actually cut this out. We're going to add a station. We're going to say oil processing coal drop. And I'm going to wait until basically either 30 seconds have passed or the item count for coal has dropped below 1,000. That's sort of what I'm thinking. And then the next one, once it's done it there, then it needs to bring coal down here to smelting. So then I can add a station smelting. And we can wait for either 30 seconds or until we are empty. So that should move that around. There isn't anything else. There isn't any other place that I need to drop coal, I believe. This coal pickup, this is our original place where we were picking up coal in order to send it over here. This has actually been made redundant, to use a phrase. This has been made redundant. We can now like basically tear this up, and instead what this will do is it'll act sort of like this area became, which is that instead of being a place to pick up coal and start it, this is actually a place that coal is dropped off from our radial mines and enters into the bus as long as the bus continues to exist. Again, the overall goal is to remove this bus, but we aren't really getting very far in that because I keep getting caught up in 1,000 other things that we're doing, but that is this game. So with this, whoops, sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. So with this, so smelting, so coal mine, oil processing, smelting, let's turn you back on and get you moving. That should now move coal around to where I need it to be. And assuming that everything is signaled correctly, I shouldn't have any major stoppages, but if I do, I'll be able to work them out at least. I shouldn't I shouldn't get any like collisions. I shouldn't run into a situation where my trains smash into each other. Have you been set to anything? No, you have not been set to move anywhere. So the copper supply, right now, the only place that I would really want copper to be dropped off is the production modules block. So we want to set that up as soon as possible here. I'm a little bit worried that right now there's a train on it, and I'm a little worried that train, well, it shouldn't hold there for too long, right? So if I keep you set on manual, we add a station, you're going to start by being here in copper supply. And you're going to wait until you're full, at which point you are going to go to production modules, And you're just simply going to, I guess there, you can just wait until you're empty. So go full, go over and get empty. That should be good. And I'll just set you to go. Make sure I'm not on the track first. And then, yeah, I can just set you to go. Okay. Well, now I'm moving. Iron is moving. Copper is moving. At this point, I believe plastic should also be moving. So this should be starting to actually produce. It should now be getting the last thing that it needs in order to start producing. The eternal question is going to be whether or not the like the ratios that I calculated actually make sense and are actually usable, but I mean, everything's moving. Our limiting factor is just going to be how fast we can unload these trains, because the filter inserters are not as fast to unload as, say, like stack inserters are. So yeah, we might end up in situations like this, which is actually kind of rough because now this whole intersection is technically blocked. See, this is the danger. So now this intersection is blocked. And a longer train, if I had longer trains running, it would block even more. This is the danger of this design that I'm working with here. Why aren't any of these producing? Oh my god, because I never put down... What am I doing? Because I never put down long-handled inserters. Oh man, that's a big fail on my part. That's just straight up on me. Didn't even realize I had done that. All right, here we go. Now they should start. Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting our red circuits. Whew. Yeah, that was my bad. Well, this is technically working, and now I have red circuits and green circuits coming to a light here. And I can see about how many. So right now with 12 of these I'm making... For 12 of these, I'm making 2 a second, and one of these makes 2 a second. So I'm making 2 electronic circuits per second and 2 advanced circuits per second, based on what I have got here. Assuming... Oh, I've used up all the iron. Wow, that got used up so fast. Oh my god. All right, you shouldn't have a limit to how much you can do. This is the plastic, and the iron is... The coal's locked up. Yeah, this is becoming an issue. Grab as many of these as I can myself and just load them in by hand. All right, that clearly is not okay. Uh-oh. Oh, and you're in that. All right, we've got a block. Okay, how do I fix this? I think I fix it by putting a rail... Oh, man. This has been kind of rough. What do I need? Not brain. Some more iron plates. Iron plates all got used. Uh-oh. All right, I need to go grab some iron plates. Hold on, I'll be right back, guys. I put down another rail signal here so that if there's anyone that anyone that wants to go straight through this way should be able to do so without running into trouble, and anyone who wants to come through here and exit out shouldn't be caught by anybody who's waiting back here. This does not permanently solve the problem that just occurred, but it does at least give me a stopgap and helps me to sort of start figuring out what's going on here. What did I do? I made a mistake. I made a big mistake. Uh-oh. Oh no, oh, this is a disaster. This is an absolute unmitigated disaster. All right, hold on. I have to purge this belt. I put the copper in my like desperate attempts to clear out. In my desperate attempts to clear out the copper off of the train, I accidentally put a whole bunch of copper into this chest, which is supposed to be for iron only. But okay, I've gone ahead and cleared that out. So where is the iron train currently? It looks like it's currently stopped at the bus drop, which tells me that I have not set that correctly, because it needs to be moving, because it needs to come down here. I might have actually set it on manual. It might not actually be moving on its own. This was supposed to be an episode about figuring out circuits, but it's going to be an episode about emergency. All right, you are waiting until you're empty, which doesn't make any sense. So we're going to go ahead and set you to manual for a second. I'm going to go for the let's say that for here you're just going to wait until you're just going to wait for 30 seconds. Again, none of this makes sense, none of this is really efficient, but okay, now you can go. Now you'll just hold here for 30 seconds and then you'll go on your merry way, which you don't actually even have that much iron on you to begin with. I'm going to give you a little bit just so that you have some extra to drop off at the production base. Okay. This is all very awkward, but I've now got, at least the trains are moving now. Yeah, you need to wait there until, okay, this is where the circuit network is going to become important, because now what I really want, here's what I really want. I want you to sit at copper, not until you have full inventory, but until you get an indication that there are less than, I'm going to say 200 copper on a circuit. So just go ahead and you just go. So how is it going to figure out if there's less than that much on a circuit? Well, I'm going to make a bunch of these circuit networks. Now we can finally talk about circuits. Okay, you're going to get blocked by that. That's so frustrating. It's fine, I guess. You're not blocked forever. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. So these two chests have a certain amount of copper in them, and they can report that to a circuit network. So I'm going to grab this green wire, and I'm going to connect these two together, and then I'm going to connect them to this. I can actually connect them straight to here. So I'm actually then going to connect them right to this guy. And you can see there's now a green wire running down to these chests, right? These circuit networks run along the same thing as your power lines do, so it's important to pay attention to. So now what's happening is that there is a system which is reporting that there is, say, you know, there's like 2,600 copper on this network, right? Everything else is zero. There's nothing else on this network, but there is 2,600 or so copper plates, right? Now I can take this circuit network and I can continue to run it down this way, because I'm going to send it all the way down, send this information all the way down to our copper smelting operation. Oh, you go out this way and then you come back. I see. Trying to figure out how I ran my power. Connect. So you see, you gotta run it like you would power. So you need as many as you would need like power poles to send this information down the line. It's actually quite a bit of work you need in order to get it out there. And it occurs to me that yeah, this is going to be pretty inefficient anyway. All right, it's fine. Connect. Yeah, there's only I ran it down this way, so it's got to go this way, this way, this way. Oop, haha! Do not get hit by a train. Absolutely do not get hit by a train while trying to do this. Okay, make sure not to accidentally connect it to anything, any machines or anything like that. Just power. So we just have to follow our closest power network line to get it over to where it's going. Oh yeah, I can't connect it there, even though it could. That's not. There's now a physical. There's no physical connection, so I have to run it like to here, to here, to here. Yeah, I gotta run it where the actual power is flowing, I guess, which is very awkward because that means I'm gonna need way more than what I've got in my hand. So I gotta go here, 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 here. Here. And yeah, I can't run it straight up. So what actually is the line that connects it to the station? Boy, that's inefficient as hell. Okay. Well, that's because it's powering all the individual smaller items in the meantime. So it's like, you know, there's a lot of stuff that it's doing. And again, make sure I don't accidentally connect it to something else along the way. It's like one of the big things. All right, now it is connected to the train stop. So now, if I click on this, if I click on this and I click on network, mode of operation sent to train. Yes, so it's receiving 2.2 thousand copper as a signal. So that means that I have done it correctly. So the circuit, so the signals that are coming in are correct. So it now knows that there is 2200 network or 2200 copper on this circuit network. So it's reporting that to the train. So the train is now waiting until that number drops below 200 before it moves on to deliver more stuff. Okay. Now I'm not clogging up my, now I'm not clogging up that network. Or now I'm not, or rather, I'm not clogging up the delivery path. Because it's not going to send unless it absolutely needs it. Again, don't get run over by a damn train. You should be able to land where you're going. So I could do the same thing and run a signal down here. But this is trying to deliver to two different places, right? So this is trying to deliver to the bus, and it is trying to drop over to the block here. I probably only want it to do that in certain circumstances. So I'm going to do the same thing now, except I'm going to run this on a red wire network. Which means I'm going to create a bunch of red wires. And I'm going to say you take that same path if and only if the amount of iron on the circuit is, say, less than, you know, a certain amount. But specifically, because that's the bus. The bus is always going to have a bunch of stuff on it. I'm going to assume. So here's what I'm going to actually say. I'm going to connect these red circuits. I'm going to connect them to... I'm going to connect this to my power. And then we're going to run this red line. We're going to run it on the same network that we just ran the green. Now, I can't run a second green because that would be the same circuit, right? I mean, I guess I could. Let's run it separate. I just realized I think I can actually run it down the same because it would carry both the signals. and I don't have any reason why I shouldn't carry both signals. It's fine. We're learning. I just realized that I did this really dumb, and it doesn't need to go this way, but this is what we're gonna do, and we're just I guess I'm just showcasing how these sort of signals work. This is clearly a mistake, and I'm now realizing it, but it's fine. So we're gonna run this down this way, and this is going to try, and it's gonna make the closest way up to the iron drop as possible. You can't make the jump that way. You really can't jump to any of these? That's awkward as hell. I mean, I could connect it through here if I really wanted to. And I could probably jump to like one of these. No, I guess I have to go the long way around. Go here, go here. And then I guess I gotta go like here. Okay. So now with this train, I will be able to receive a signal. How do I see? Hold on. Why are you not getting any signal? I can't see the status of... Oh. Yeah, because there's like nothing on it. Yeah, the red thing, yeah, okay. So it is sending the right information. At least I think it is. Should be. Yeah, okay, it is receiving the signal. So, I want you to go. So your wait condition here is circuit condition. Iron on the circuit that you can see is less than like 200. Then you go. So right now it's routing back home. And what it sees now is over 200. So it should come home and it should not immediately leave. Well, there should be an and here. There should be circuit less than 200 and your own cargo is greater than, let's say, like 1,000. Maybe 2,000. Because you're not doing anybody any good if you just show up with nothing. Then, yeah, spend 30 seconds dropping off at the bus. And then spend 60 seconds or until the car, till you've emptied out there and then come home. So this seems to be working. So you've now got, I mean, you're loading up, so you're good here. And now you're just waiting for the signal to tell you that there's currently exactly 216, and that seems to be holding pat, which makes sense because we're not producing anything. This seems to be making sense now. Again, I could have sent both those along the same circuit network, and I may have to reorient my network at some point. I may have to like rebuild that logic network because it kind of doesn't make sense to have both of them, and I'm spending a lot of like extra like overhead to do that. Okay. So you are currently waiting a copper supply. You're waiting until there's like, yeah, until there's like no copper in the system. You Plastic supply. You are simply waiting at plastic supply for a while. Then you're dropping off at the drop for 30 seconds. Again, this is another one where I think it makes more sense to... Why are you waiting all the way back there for that? You should not have been interrupted by... that. Oh, you are just at full inventory and nothing is taking any of your stuff, huh? Yeah, we should run a circuit up that way. We should run a circuit up that way to prevent it just spending a bunch of fuel just running around aimlessly, but I think the first thing we're going to do is, instead of that, we're just going to try and spend the plastic as fast as possible. So the reason we're down here doing all this is because we need production modules which need 1/3 of a circuit and 1/3 of an advanced circuit per second, and I'm producing 2. So I could be having 6 facilities making productivity modules based on the output I'm doing. So I can have 6 facilities making productivity modules. So let's go ahead and do that. Should I run it? I should just do it in one straight line, I think. So let's just do one straight line of these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And let's see, it needs to bring in 10 items every 15 seconds. So I think I can do that with a single fast inserter. So this can all be on one intake belt. There we go. And then honestly, regular inserters out is going to be more than fine. It's only got to move one item every 15 seconds. Regular inserters out is more than good enough. Boom. And then I just got to get this on power network like so. And then I just need output. And the question now becomes, where is the output going? I don't really necessarily have an answer for that one yet. I think one cool thing I can do is like something like this, to like force them together. Something like that. So you guys are producing productivity modules, productivity modules, productivity module. So there it is. That's what this whole area was designed for. That's it. That's the block. Takes in a bunch of stuff, outputs a bunch of stuff, and then obviously I think I'm putting in a small stop just like this in order to pick it up. But I think that's it. Yeah, you are producing faster. Yeah, one single inserter is more than good enough for one of these things. And there we go. That's it. We are now consistently spending what we're bringing in. We're consistently bringing in more and more material. Why are you stopped now? Again, with this up being stopped by these guys, are you not like broken up into your own network appropriately? Did I screw this up somehow? Let me grab one of these and see. No, you're on your own. Interesting. I think this is all on one network. What's the network look like here? Why are you all seemingly on one? Because it's a train car coming back along this bottom one that's preventing a train car from entering this top one. So how are they on the same network is my first question. They should not be. Yeah, because there's no signaling up here of any kind. Holy hell, this is how shit gets broken. Okay, so we gotta fix this then. All right, I need a chain signal like here. And then I need a rail signal let's put like one here. And then I'm going to put another one like there and one like there. Okay. Looks like that doesn't really work either. Hold on. Ugh, signaling. It's a pain in the butt. Because this should be, yeah, you shouldn't be stopped by that one. So we're gonna go with like signal here, signal here. So now you guys should be on different, yeah, now you guys are on different networks. Yeah, that seems to be correct. Okay, somehow I had gotten away with absolutely zero signaling down here, and that's a problem. And it was causing some minor slowdowns. Okay. Oh, and again with even more slowdowns because now multiple trains are trying to access, yeah, all three trains at the same time are trying to access the supply because the supply is now all being used very quickly. The thing is, again, the major issue here is that having only one train unloading at a time is problematic, and that the space I'm using is very small. And also, like, it's unloading very slowly because it's only ever picking up one item at a time. Yeah, so this will sit here forever and ever and ever and ever being unloaded. That's a huge problem. Okay, so let's see. So these were green network, right? Yeah. So these are on the green network. So let's take the green network and send it over here. And so now what we'll say is you'll stop at empty train inventory, or on the condition that these have, let's say, greater than, let's say, greater than, well, not 0, but that's fine. I want you to go right now anyway. Say 2,000. Yeah, and you're just stuck in there, huh? Boy, that's real awkward. That can actually cause a proper slowdown. I gotta think it's just a single stack inserter that's emptying this. It is not ever gonna be. I mean, it's only gonna hold here for 60 seconds, but still. Yeah, no, this was not correct. This was not the right way to do this. Instead, I think I need to have a single stop for every possible material. Also, there's the logistics network stuff that would make this a little bit easier to work with. I'm wondering if that's the real solution. Because this is just not delivering things fast enough to keep up my production, is what I'm finding here. Like, I just can't keep production going because I just can't deliver the stuff here fast enough. Hmm. So I'm thinking... Let's try something out here. We're gonna problem solve in real time. How would I signal these? Also, this doesn't really work because there's only one. Here, let's just do it. Let's just not think. Let's just do it. So this is going to be a stop, this is going to be a stop, this is going to be a stop. Because we're dropping off 3 different materials. This is probably not the way that I want it to actually work in the future. In the future, it'll probably be more like a tiered system where it's going down this way and then it all breaks off. I'm not really sure. This is the, I'm trying to figure this out on the fly. So I got my 2 more train stops. Let's go 1 here and 1 here. So this is going to be prod mod. So I'm going to have like 1 for, this is going to be copper. So this is going to be like iron. And then this one's going to be prod mod plastic. And this is going to be copper. So let's make all 8 of these wooden chests that I have access to in my inventory. 2, 3, 4, and then over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go power. Power. And these are just going to be regular fast inserters. Instead of, or sorry, these should be regular stack inserters. All right, give me a minute. I'm going to create a bunch of stack inserters. I'm going to try and figure out if this is going to work. I'm just going to create a bunch of offshoots here. I'm going to create a bunch of stack inserters and see if this fixes things. I'll be back in a second, okay, guys? Alright, welcome back. I gotta finish up this recording here. I've been spending quite a bit of time off camera sort of trying to figure out all this stuff that I've been doing with all this logistics, upgrading all this stuff. Again, I'm trying to do all this stuff on my own without looking too much of it up to see how other people do it. But right now you can see what I have now is a mess, but at least it's technically functional. I've got 3 different stops. Each one is fully decked out for, you know, its... each one is fully decked out for exactly its specific kind of material. And I think that's how it needs to go in the future. No more of this like trying to split up one stop thing. That was never going to work. It was a very silly design. Now at least I've got a table for each one, and I can try and figure out the logistics and figure out like the decision making for each individual train now. Like for instance, if I go to this one, I can see that iron just showed up, so iron's being loaded. This is apparently waiting a copper supply for some reason. It's waiting until the circuit reads less than 200. If I click here, I should be able to see. Oh, if I just hover over it, actually, yeah, it's reading like 800 something because that's what's in here. So yeah, eventually that will, eventually that will drop off. Yeah, it's working its way through the copper supply right now, and eventually copper will be called for here. And then, so now what I need to do is I need to signal. Now signaling is a big issue. Because right now there's no way into this, so thankfully they can't enter into here if there's any train here, which I guess is fine. I think really what I need 2 rail signals, and I need to do something like signal here, signal here. I don't know, maybe make one more. Is that needed? It might not be, although it might also be. Where did it go? There it is. So right now, train on here blocks this one. Yeah, this is a mess. This is an absolute mess. I need actually several more of these. Iron plates, and thankfully these are all things that are right here that I can just steal a few of. I don't think any of that's gonna actually work for fixing the traffic problems, but at least it'll prevent the trains from slamming into each other at any point. And it prevents awkward, like, unsignaled nonsense. It's not going to fix throughput at all, but at least it'll help unloading speeds for sure. Because now everyone has a set of stack inserters, a full set of 4 stack inserters pulling off, so. And now you're looking for 2,000, but you're not getting a signal here. See, this is now a mistake. I've now screwed this up, because I think I pulled the signal off. So you are connected to the one next to you. So I need to connect you to you, you to you. And then I need to connect all of you to this guy. There we go. I almost made another huge mistake without even realizing it, because all these things, oh man. Yeah, these different guys arriving out of order is super awkward. What are you currently waiting for? You're getting a signal if that's less than... Oh my god, hold on. I need to set you to manual for a minute. Because you want to see if the circuit condition, iron, if it's greater than, let's say, like 2,000, then you can leave. On the way back, if the signal is less than 200, which means that I need to combine these two circuit networks together. Which should be fine. So now from here, the green circuit should be reading, yeah, all of that. This red circuit is no longer very useful, but it is what it is. Well, except the iron one received on the red circuit, though, right? So that's the other problem, is that on the other, iron received on the red circuit, so I actually have to make these red circuits and not green circuits. I can't have them carrying because I split it up at the end. It'll never see that. This is so frustrating. This is so insanely frustrating. Here we go. Now the red circuit, yeah, it sees everything that the green circuit does. All right. Yeah, I'm wasting a lot of resources and materials here to figure this out, but this should now... it should now read everything correctly. And this one, because this is not on any sort of special circuit, actually, you can just wait here until a certain amount of time has passed. You're fine. All right. Crisis kind of averted. This is still a disaster mess. Future blocks will need to answer this question for sure. But for now, I'm getting all the materials I need. Everything is fully saturated. I have my production modules being made, which is finally 1 out of 3 for production science packs. My God, I am exhausted. This has been a heck of a recording session. But we're learning. We're figuring it out, and we have ourselves a nice little block here. And we've learned about circuits and how they work, so... If you guys are still with me, thank you so much. My name has been Tannis Fugitive. This is the Fugitive Theater, and I will see you guys next time. If you like what I'm doing here, and if you're enjoying learning along with me, then like the video, share it, subscribe to the channel, all that YouTube stuff that you know I hate saying by now, but it really does help. And I will see you guys in the next one when we continue building towards Purple Science, finally. All right, guys. Bye-bye.